Hi everyone, I'm pretty excited today about this video. I know I always say that, but I really am. We're going to talk about the Lamy Lux in Palladium, the fountain pen, and we're going to talk about the Pilot Cavalier in Champagne Gold. And there's a few other bits and pieces here that I'm showing you. I'm going to do this video again in a voiceover because just for some reason I got a new phone and the audio is really scratchy, but I think this is probably a better way to be able to hear me and things like that. I know that is sometimes a problem. So I'm just kind of going through here and talking about a few different little bits and pieces. And this kind of video has taken me 2 or 3 days to actually film. And then I've gone back and kind of edited it. And then I've thought, I need a bit of additional footage for this or that. So I want to kind of show you the pens and how they work. And I also, a Midori passport size traveller's notebook came in the mail kind of while I was filming, so I just wanted to kind of add that in. I'll do a better setup in a little while, but I'm just kind of adding in a bunch of things that I think you might like to kind of have a look at and see what I'm doing at the minute. So, and then at the end we've got like ink samples and things to go through as well, and hopefully you can kind of see the colours and things like that. So for right now, this is the Midori passport size traveller's notebook, or I think it's now called Traveller's Company. So, but a lot of people kind of know it as, it started out as Midori and then I think the companies split. So this is the passport size. I've actually already unboxed it and I put another, I left another insert in there. So this is, but you can see there, there's a line from shipping. It had moved. I was just talking about in the other video, when you get your notebooks and they're already marked or, you know, creased, and sure enough that happened again. But anyway, this is what it comes with. It comes with this blank insert with the sort of burgundy cover. So I really like this insert actually. I think I'll switch out the cover and put something else in there, but it's a really nice cover, and you know, it's a really nice notebook. And then I also have the Muji gridded one. I believe it comes in like a 3-pack on Amazon. So and I use that little one for like YouTube videos, for art supply kind of wish list, or colours that I'm looking at for watercolours, or, you know, neo colours or anything like that, pencils. So here I'm just kind of showing you how that one insert goes in, and you've got the bookmark and everything like that. And so it's a really slim, nice profile. If you like just a really slim profile and you need to take that somewhere, you can get all different kind of inserts, weekly inserts, monthly inserts. So here I'm just showing you, if you pull that elastic out of the box that it comes in, you can actually use that as a jump band. So if you have sticks, you can put those together. You just kind of open them to the center and then attach that elastic to both of them. And then you can kind of slide those under the one elastic in the notebook, and then you can get 2 inserts on the one elastic. So, and then you can actually do that again, and you could end up with 4 inserts, and you could then put an insert on that middle elastic and you could end up with 5. So I'm just kind of showing you there. That is not going to be my final setup, but I'm just working on kind of how I want that to look, and then I'll come back and show you the final setup as well. But for now, that's kind of what I have it like. And then here I was just showing you, I was kind of trying to fit, these are the Classiky kind of library card style envelopes, and I was going to try and fit one of those in the front pocket and just attach that with some glue, but it's too big there. So I've got little things in there that I'm just working on. So I've just got little things that I'm working on at the minute. But and here we have some Tools to Live By. It's a new company to me, but they make some really nice things, and their packaging is really gorgeous. So that is a fishtail clip, and I got those off at Etsy, and you can just search Tools to Live By. and you know, things will come up. And then these are actually just some little pearls from Michael's, so it was just like a couple of dollars, and I really like the little pearls, so I'm really happy with that. And I just show you there that I just knotted that straight onto the bookmark. And yeah, so that's kind of a package of everything. There's that Delft tape there in the corner, and I got that from the same shop as the Tools to Live By and the Classiky. So I can't remember the shop, but when I can, I'll try and link it below. And so it might take me a couple of days to link everything. But as soon as I can, I'll put like all the shops and where you can get everything in the video. So so here I'm just grabbing the two kind of fountain pens that we'll be looking at today, and then I'm just showing you that we're going to do it in the number 13 Traveller's Notebook, so the number 13 insert for the Traveller's Notebook, and it's from Traveller's Company. So it's the Tomoe River paper, and I know that a lot of you like to write on it and things like that, so I thought we would look at that today. So let's see, here I'm just showing you kind of the packaging for the Lamy Luxe, and I really love this colour. I'm really all about everything champagne gold, so really fond of that. And the sort of tube that it comes in, it's really nice. So I don't know a lot about fountain pens and kind of what everything's called, but you can kind of see that there. And there's an inkwell there, so you can see, you know, when your ink's nearly out, you can see that. So I'm just showing you that's the fine nib there. And I think here I'm still talking about the inkwell, how you can kind of see through the, for when the ink's nearly out. And it's taken me a while to kind of even pull this out and use it. I've had it for a little while, but I've just been kind of scared, like, if I don't use it often enough, will the ink dry out or this or that? You hear kind of things, and I wasn't sure about like how high maintenance it is. So, but it's been really, really nice, and I'm really loving it. And I kind of wish I had have just gotten it out and started, before. But anyway, I just showed you that there's like a little thing, cardboard. It says remove, and you just take that off. And they've got that there so that the cartridge doesn't click into place when they leave a cartridge for you. It actually comes with a blue cartridge, but I got a black cartridge off my brother. And here I'm just kind of trying to get that ink working, just tapping it lightly on the page until the ink starts flowing. So there you go. And then I just kind of do a little bit of an illustration to show you. I think this is pretty popular in the art community and urban sketching, and I can see why. It's just a really, really nice pen to use. So, but back to what I was saying about the little cardboard part that it comes with. I think I'm going to try and keep that. I think I kept it so that if I am traveling as well, apparently you can't take the, or like if you take fountain pens on planes, the high pressure or something like that, the ink could spill everywhere. So it's a nice thing to do to just kind of pop a cartridge in that hasn't been kind of pushed in to your pen, to like just a new cartridge, and then put that cardboard bit back on, and then you can travel with it without it spilling, or have sort of that might happen on the plane. So yeah, that's just something I'm thinking about. So then there is the boxing for the Pilot Cavalier. So I got this one from Jet Pens, and that's kind of how it comes. So I think I don't really need the packaging, so I don't think I'm going to keep it, but I just wanted to show you how it comes in case you need the packaging. And then it also comes with a black cartridge. And so there's the cartridge, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure if both of these cartridges, if they're able to be, purchased sort of the generic one, or if you have to get the one from that brand. So that's something I'm not really sure of. But here I'm just squeezing the cartridge a little bit to try and get that ink moving up the pen. And then I think in a minute I'm just, here I show you. I think I show you there the click of the pen, clicking that into place. I'm not sure if I did or not, but I know that I do it at some point. So here I just sort of did the same thing. I just kept sort of lightly touching the pen to the paper until the ink started flowing. And then I just kind of also do a little quick illustration with this to show you how easily and nicely that pen works as well. So both pens are really lovely. What's interesting as well is both are fine nibs, but this one they say is kind of a size down. So the Pilot would be more like an extra fine, and then the Lamy would be more like a fine. And so here I'm just using the Cavalier, and I'm just using it upside down there to show as well. So when you tip your pen upside down and use the nib that way, you can get a finer line. So I'm just showing you kind of the line variation that you can get just from one pen. And so this was actually the first bit of footage that I did, and then I went back and redid kind of everything we just saw, because I thought I hadn't kind of shown the packaging and things like that properly. So I had just kind of shown you the pen and talked about the fine nib and everything here, but I think I'm just showing you how it posts, and it's so I think I just kind of showed you that, and you can hear the click there. And then I'm going to show you how the Lamy posts. So I can't hear it on the voiceover, but hopefully you could hear that now. And so then next, I'm not sure what we're going to do next. Okay, so I think we might do kind of some sketching with both pens, or I'm going to maybe do some writing so that you can actually see. Okay, so here we go. So the top was the Cavalier, and now I'm showing you the Lamy in the regular writing and then upside down again, so you can see that how much thicker the Lamy lines are than the Cavalier. The Cavalier is also a smaller pen, so it's quite small to hold. So if you like the size of a thicker pen, the Cavalier is probably not for you, because it's quite a thin, fine pen to hold. And so here I'm using the Cavalier, and you can see that that line is almost, it's just slightly thicker than the Lamy when it's doing the upside down writing. So and here I'm just going to show you, I'm going to kind of do a couple of illustrations here just to show you, you know, if you're thinking of them for sketching or for urban sketching or anything like that, so you can kind of see how you can use that, and how you can use just the line variation between like the pen, or using it upside down if you need thinner lines. So this is just a little bouquet of roses, and then I'll do a couple of other things. So I'll just let you watch that. Okay, so hopefully you can see kind of the line variation there and the different pens, but I really don't mind. I kind of like either of them. So I'm just going to do a couple of other things, just in case you are kind of looking at it for art, and I think that I will be doing more art with it on the channel and stuff. So here I'm just going to do a pair actually. And one of the things that I kind of want to focus on a little bit this year is learning more about like highlighting and contour and shading and things like that. So I think this is a really nice way to learn some of that, and then that can kind of cross over into when you add colour, you kind of know where to add the darker colours or where to leave highlights. And so you can see I'm kind of doing it in stages as well, so you can see like if you wanted to just leave the pair like that, you could, and then you could add colour. Or if you want to kind of keep using a pen, then you can just keep using that, keep using the pen and keep building up the contour and the shading and all that in that way. So I'm using it upside down and, the right way. So, and then I'm kind of just adding some shadow here. And let's see. So I wanted to do some leaves here, so I'm doing it in a really fine tip way. And the other thing I wanted to say about the pens is that they're not skipping upside down. It's actually the way I'm using it. So I'm using it with a really light pressure. So I just wanted to let you know that that's not a fault of the pen. It's not skipping. You can write, if you're using it just for writing, you can use that upside down and it should write, really well. But just when I'm doing kind of sketching with it, I'm using it really lightly, and I'm actually trying to get that line to skip, because I don't want, one continuous line. I really want it to have that feel of as if you were sketching with it. So like here's a really good example. It's not skipping, I'm kind of making it skip. So there's that, and then I'm just kind of showing you here like different little types of things you can do with it. So here's just like as if I was stamping the drawing, or you could use like a little stamp, for example, if you're traveling, or if you're sketching in a particular location, you could actually make a little stamp and then kind of write where that was and the date in it or something like that. And then just before I finished here, I was kind of going to finish it there, and then I thought I wouldn't mind trying sort of a little bit of architectural sketching. So I am just kind of making this up as I go. So I'm kind of basing it off, one of those buildings, maybe like in Paris with the nice domed roofs, and then there's like maybe an angel statue on top. So I'm kind of like drawing a little statue with wings there. And then I'm just kind of seeing like how that would go if I was like out sketching on location or something, how, like what that would be like. So I'm just kind of trying that out, and I'll just kind of let you kind of watch the rest of this as well. So I am kind of finished with the Lamy, but I actually wanted to go back in with the Cavalier and just see kind of if I can get enough shading and enough line. Like say I just took the Cavalier and not the Lamy, you know, could I do enough line work and with that pen, because it is finer. So I'm just kind of going through here and trying that out, and then we'll get on to the next part of the video. So I have finished the sketches, and hopefully that kind of gives you a good idea of, you know, what you can, like if you like that line width, or if you would need to go up to a medium, or if you do like the Cavalier for the finer line width. So I'm hoping that that would kind of give you a good idea of that. And then here I'm just showing you on this paper like so what you can see from the other side. So you can see, I mean, you can see both pages there. So for me, if I'm using this paper, so it is the lightweight paper, so you get double the amount of paper, but I think that I would actually close up those two pages and go to the next page, so I wouldn't use the in-between pages. And so here I'm just showing you, I got a question from one of you the other day, and I wasn't sure of the answer. And thank you for answering each other and helping each other. So I'm just going to kind of examine that with you now. So the question is kind of, will that pen loop, you know, bend in? And I think there you can see it will bend in, and you could also get another bit of elastic or ribbon or something and wrap that around that pen loop there, like at night or when you're not using the pen, to help train that leather to go in for you. So I think you can see there, hopefully that's, and also just seeing the sizing of the pen loop. So that's the really smaller pen in the pen loop. And I'm just showing you kind of how that sits and everything. I really like the pen loop just as the design aspect of it, but I hadn't thought about the functionality. So I really like it. Anyway, and so it will go in, and then I also show you the Lamy. So the Lamy won't actually fit in the pen loop. It's a little too big. So what I had to do was, I'm just going to use the clip of the lid, and I'm just going to put that in kind of under the elastic there and clip the clip part through the pen loop there. So you can see, and the Pocket Plus, you can see there, that's about the size of a pen, if that gives you any indication of kind of the size. So yeah, but I really like either one of them. I like the way that sort of sits in there, and it works out really nicely. So if there's any other questions about that or anything, I'm happy to kind of look at that and show you something, or, you know, anything in the videos. If I haven't thought of something or I've kind of missed showing you something, just let me know and I will try and get it in like a future video. So I think here I'm also just going to show you now the moleskin. This is the one I've been trying to use for my 2019 planner, and I'm just showing you, I've had kind of problems with like using pens and what will bleed through and stuff. So I'm just showing you here that the Cavalier, when it's fine, it actually, there's a little bit of bleed through there, but I was quite rough on it. And then the next page here, there's really not a lot of bleed through or shadowing. Like it's quite, if you use it lightly is what I'm trying to say, you'll be able to use it, and it's quite nice. So that's kind of something that I think I'm gonna go with the grey fine liner and the Cavalier, kind of interchange them and use them both in there. So that's kind of all for that. And then I'm not actually sure where we're heading next. Okay, so I think the next thing that we're going to look at is actually when the Lamy comes on, it's got sort of a triangular grip shape, and on two of the sides, the sort of bottom, I'll kind of show you, but they've left a little bit of a join, and so that can kind of irritate you while you're using it. So I saw in someone's video, if you just get a nail buffer, so you're using the actual, you don't have to use, this is just the one my sister got, but you can use just those long ones where one side's a nail file and one side's the buffer. And I'm just showing you here, there's like different thicknesses, and I wasn't sure, different sort of smoothnesses, and I wasn't sure if which one I'd need to use, but it's just the really smoothest one. So I'm just kind of trying to point out there that it's not the top one, it's that sort of side bottom one, and you can feel it. There's like a little bump that comes up like a little join, and so all you do is you just get the smooth, the really smoothest one, and you just kind of go over that. So literally I did it for probably 6 or 7 seconds, maybe not even. You can probably do it for like just a few seconds. But then I kind of did it a couple of times just to make sure, I got the sides correctly and everything. But that just completely comes out, and then it's smooth. There's no irritation or anything like that. So that's just another little tip for if you're using that, just to make that a little bit more comfortable. So I think that the next thing we're going to go into is just... Okay, so no, I was wrong. It's not the inks. This is just, I'm just showing you here, because for the inks we're going to use a dip pen, and I wanted some actually broad nib. I thought we would go through some of the inks with a broad nib tip, so I wanted to get a broad nib for the dip pen, and I'll show you those in a minute. I just got them from Michael's, but here I'm just showing you. I've got nibs and they're kind of getting lost, or I just want to keep them in one place. So I really love metal tins. I really love putting things in metal tins. So I've just got the, they're just, whatever they are, ginger chews or something. And I am just emptying those out, and then I'll just put those down in the kitchen, and then I am using the metal tin for the nibs so that they're kind of all in one place, and I know exactly where to go, to get those. And then here I'm just showing you that you can pull out the nibs, and I'll link this. I have linked this, I think, in my calligraphy video. If you're looking for that straight away, you can get them on Amazon. This is a really nice quality. It's about $6 or $7. And you just use the little pliers to pull the nib out if you're having a hard time. And here I'm just showing you, I got these book rings from Walmart, and just a little hole punch from Target, and I just made this little kind of book where I'm going to do swatching. And I used my favourite sort of Strathmore cotton paper, which is like, I can get it for $8 from my local Walmart, but I'm not sure if that's in all Walmarts or if they've just gotten like an old, because the books, the packet that it comes in is quite dusty, so I'm not sure if that's just an old, kind of delivery, like a shipment that they had sort of sitting there, so I'm not sure, but you can get it off Amazon. It's the Southworth, which I really like. So I'm just kind of using that as well to see what that will, because I'll probably end up making inserts. So I just want to see how the inks behave on that Southworth cotton paper as well. And then I'm just also swatching that on the Tomoe River paper for you as well. So I'm just showing you here, this is Diamine Moon Dust, I believe, that we started with. And I end up not being happy with this sample because I have never had moon dust feather on me like this, so I'm not sure. Like, I was like not sure what was going on there. So I end up redoing this sample. But I think that was user error. I think it was my fault because I had wet the nib and I hadn't dried it completely, so I think that's what caused the feathering. But I think it's a good example as well of showing you how careful you do have to be with some inks, like, and papers, and feathering can occur and things like that. So it's a little bit daunting, but it's not that hard if you kind of just, you know, try out a few different things. Something that you might have thought was feathering or was a problem, maybe you can change something and then that would be fine to use. So here I'm kind of trying to show you the sparkle in the moon dust, and I really, really love this ink. It's really nice to use. You can get a really fine line with it and still like that sparkles there. It's a really nice one, and I wouldn't have a problem putting that in any of my pens. So one thing I've been worried about is sparkly pens, will they clog the nibs on your fountain pens? And like, for example, this rose gilt tint one, I'm not sure about putting that in because I don't know if it's completely water soluble. So I'm worried about the glitter particles clogging the nib. So I would probably only use that with a dip pen. But with the Diamine ones like the moon dust and the night sky and things, I'm completely happy with putting those in the pen because they are completely water soluble. So that will just, you know, come out of the pen. So I'm not worried about that at all. So yeah, they're just like things to be aware of, and you might be happy to put it in your pens and that's completely fine. You might have had an experience where, you know, you've used the rose gilt tint and it is fine in your pens. So I'd love to hear about that as well. But I really love that ink, so I'm just thinking it's not going to deter me from getting the ink. I just want to, you know, be aware how I'm going to use it. So I just did the brown sugar next, which I really do like that colour as well, and it's a really nice ink. And then here I'm showing you the Noodlers Rachmaninoff, is that how you say it? So I love this pink. It's like opera rose if you're familiar with like watercolors, and but it's sort of thick. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I struggle to get as fine of a line with it, and I'm not sure if that would then be considered like a wet ink because there's too much of it sort of, or that, you know, there's quite a lot of it coming out. But I still really, really love the color. It's so bright and vibrant and pretty. So they're just some of my faves, and then I'm just showing here we have had snow, and kind of while I'm filming there's snow outside there. So okay, I think some of this footage, I'm not sure what happened here, but some of this kind of all got missing and things like that. So I sort of showed you Night Sky there, but that is my other favorite, and I actually think that that's the one that I will put in my pen to use. So it's similar to the moon dust, but it's got a little bit less sparkle, and I kind of like that for the writing. It's a little bit darker and it's got a bit less sparkle. So for writing I really like the Night Sky, and for like painting I really like the moon dust. So that's probably how I'll use them. And then here I'm showing you sparkling shadows. So this is one that actually has, so the other two have silver, you know, sparkle, and this one has gold. So hopefully you can see there. And then I'll kind of try and show you a few more times so that if I've kind of haven't gotten it well enough, you can kind of still get a feel for it. So that one has the gold, and then there is another one, I can't remember, but we'll see it, and that has the gold as well. So the brown sugar doesn't have any sparkle, or the Rachmaninoff, but the other ones are all sparkle inks. So this one is Lamy Vibrant Pink, and it's more of a warmer pink. So the other one, the Rachmaninoff, is more towards purple, I would say, or blue, and this one's more towards, you know, orange or yellow. And it does have a really nice bit of sheen in it, like kind of a orangey gold sheen to it, and hopefully you can see that at some point. But yeah, it's a nice ink. I don't think it's one I'm going to kind of use, but if you like a warmer pink, that's a really nice option. And then here we have electric pink, which is a similar tone to the vibrant pink, but it's got like the silver sparkle in it. So yeah, so this is a really nice pink as well. If you, I think that I'm just not getting enough of it on the nib there, and then you can see the water's really pretty, but I will show you kind of how that sparkles and everything as well. So here you can kind of see them better, you know, close-ups. And then you can kind of see it on the Tomoe River paper. So this is another brown, a brown option. It's a sort of lighter brown. And I was thinking that I would really like this from the colour swatch that they gave on the website. I thought it would be a little bit more of a brown pink, but it's not exactly the colour that I was kind of hoping for. So again, it's a really nice ink. It's just not exactly what I wanted. And then in a moment here, I'll show you the browns side by side so you can kind of see. They're almost similar in tone as well, just one's a little bit lighter and one's a little bit darker, so they are really nice. And so here we are going to have a look at the Amethyst de L'Oreal or something. I don't know how, L'Oreal or something, I'm not sure how to say it, but this is a really beautiful ink as well. So as far as my top inks go, and I think I would put this in a pen, but my top inks would be Night Sky, Moondust, Rose, Gilt Tint, and then this Amethyst one. So I really love them. And Rachmaninoff as well. I like the colour of it. And so I'm just showing you the back side of the page there, so you can see the brown sugar's the only one that bled through. And then here we're just going to go through a couple more inks, but I'm not sure what happened to the footage for the last couple of inks, but I will show you the swatches. I just don't have any footage of me actually swatching them. But this is the Stormy Grey, so this is the one that is also got gold in it, but it's a darker grey than the shadow, sparkling shadows, was it? So it's got the same gold, but more, I think it's got more gold, and it's a bit darker. So, and then we have the Earl Grey, which is really pretty as well. Okay, so here you can see the samples for the Soft Mint, the Purple Grey, and the Sydney Lavender, which I didn't get any footage of, but I'll try and show you some close-ups. They're all really pretty colours as well. One of the resources that I've used as well for some of these colours is another YouTuber, Chris Saenz, I believe that's her name, and she does really nice swatches, and she gives you like charts with all the different colours near each other, so you can kind of see those subtle variations. So if you haven't seen her, I'll link her below when I link everything, and she's got really nice samples of everything. So, and she kind of talks to you about the inks and what you might need in your pen and how they flow and all that kind of stuff. So but here hopefully I'm just kind of showing you, so you can see a bit of sheen in the Amethyst one, and I'm just showing you, so here I'm just showing you how I would use the paper. So I've got washi on the paper taping it to the one behind it, and I think I can kind of show you this so that I don't sort of see that back shadowing on the paper, because I just don't like that. So yeah, that's how I'm going to use it. And here's just the colours with their like colour families, so you can kind of see the differences there. That's a really beautiful one that I missed as well, the Karub, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but that's a really gorgeous with the gold and the brown. You can see the amethyst there, I love it. And so here are the pinks, and hopefully you can see the rose gilt tint as well, the kind of sparkle in the writing there. It's so pretty. And here are the greys. So that's the moon dust, and they're both moon dust, and one's a little bit darker, so you can see that you can get that a little bit lighter if you're using it for painting. And then I'm just kind of showing you the night sky is darker but with less sparkle. That's the one I'd like to use in my pen. And then these are the two with the gold flecks. So this one is a little bit of a lighter grey, and this one's a bit deeper. So I know this has been kind of a lot of information as well, condensed into one video, so I'm not sure. Just let me know if there's anything kind of I missed, or anything that was, you know, how that went. And thanks for being here, guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.